Okay, we're a bit late in starting. This is Friday night 9-ball again, and we're underway. We've been underway for about 6 minutes, and we can see the rooms that are up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms up, and let's have a look at the bracket. Remember, it's handicapped. We can see Romario is playing Tony Sam. That's two old virtual pool players there in that match, and it's 1-1 on the bracket at the moment. I'm just going to update the refresh rate on that. And we've got McClarkey, who's another old virtual pool player. He's playing River City. Romario's getting the 7-ball in the first match, and McClarkey's getting the 8-ball in the second match, and he's 1-0 down. Larry's got a bye. Popman's playing Wizard Cheat. Wizard Cheat's getting a 5-ball. They're still all square, 0-0. Cobra's playing WizKid. WizKid getting 5 and out, full handicap, and he's up 1-0 at the moment. Z Carioca is playing Andre Hagus, and Andre's getting the 6-ball. Z Carioca's up 1-0. And Mark Shark has a bye, and Geordie Power is playing Bedhead, and Geordie Power's getting 5 and out, and Bedhead's up 2-0. So the match we're going to jump in and watch is Romario and Tony Sam. Well, as long as I was playing Virtual Pool 3, which was goodness knows how many years, 15 years or more, or there or thereabouts, these two guys were always there, so they've been playing probably as long as I have. Romario now up 2-1. Romario getting a 7-ball. Just check everything's working. So a miss there from Tony, and then a good angle for Romario to get up into the gap between the 8 and 7. Remember, it's double elimination, race to 7 on the winner's side, race to, I keep getting this wrong, I think it's race to 4 on the win-loss side. Yeah, Romario's missed that one, so here's Tony's chance. Should be a fairly easy out. So the match is all square. Tony breaking in rack number 5. Well, it'll have to be a combo if he's going to keep this going. He's got the combo. How's he's finishing with the cue ball? Tapped himself. Well, mind you, that was a combo in the 7, wasn't it? Because the 7-ball's his money ball. Forgotten that already. So Romario's back into the lead. Dry break. Now, I think that one just squeezes past the 4, and I think you can see enough of it. Needs to keep running, get that red into the middle. Should be a good out here as well. Doesn't seem to be any problems. I think he's gone a bit straight in the 5 though. Have a quick look at that. Yes, he's a bit too straight. Now he's going to have to either leave a long 6 ball or work the cue ball. And the 6 goes past the 8, so he's out of line, but if he gets this and gets on the 7, it should be all over. So we're all square again. There's the cue ball going. No shot for Romario here, but you'd expect him to tuck Tony up here. Well, believe it or not, I think he can get through to that. Yeah, he can pot it. Well, maybe he couldn't. It looked as if he could get the potting angle on that one, but then again, I only had a quick glance at it. Romario going for the bank. Again, an open table, but the cue ball stuck in that, or the object ball stuck in that pocket, makes it again difficult to control the cue ball. And this will need to be a good one to keep this run going. 6 balls blocking the path of the 2 into the middle, unless he plays the combo. That was always going to be a tough one. Just trickle the 3 in, bit of inside English just to hold the cue ball. Now he's got a nice angle to drop in behind the 5. That needs to keep running a bit as well. That looks okay, but he's slightly the wrong side, but there's plenty of room to get around. Well, he's overcut the 5, but again, Romario just rushing his shots a bit too much for my liking. So this is Romario's extra money ball that Tony's going for. Down the cushion, I think. Nine ball into the same pocket as the 8. And back into the lead. Now, what was happening in the middle of the 7 ball? Well, Tony will be happy with that, because when that 7 ball goes in, that gets rid of Romario's extra money ball. So now Romario has to run the table to win the rack. Well, he's managed to bank the 1 onto the 3, but he's got no shot in the 1. using the 2 balls as the blockers. He might be in trouble in a second or two if Tony can get this right. Don't know whether he can miss the 5. No, that was the problem. He needed to get just a feather's edge on that 1 ball to try and miss the 5 and tuck Romario up there. And the 1 passes the 4, but there's no shot in the 2. There is now though, because Romario's nudged onto the 5. I think that 2 is now open. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, you can certainly get to the 2. It's tight. You've got to get right across the table with the cue ball, and that 8 ball's in the way. And he's managed to control that well. A little nudge on the jaw there helps him as well. And doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball because the 4 ball's sitting there waiting. So this is a chance for Tony to open up a gap. And he's left himself short in the 8 ball. He's got to go all out for the cut surely, because the cue ball's natural path's going to come back around the corner on the right hand side and out for the 9. Probably just have to play it pocket weight. And it goes. And sitting nicely on the 9. So Tony is going to go into a 5 racks to 3 lead. Get my little plug in while I'm at it. So Romario at the table. The 7 ball has gone again, I've noticed. And that 9 ball has now gone upward. It's on the rail. Just makes it a little bit more tougher to pot. If Romario can get that far, and he's played that with a lot of spin, and he's going to be sitting fairly well on the 4, as long as he's off the cushion. Well, he's gone a bit close to it again. Again, the 5's over the pocket, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He's just got to worry about the angle to get back up for the 6. So he's going to have to come down to the bottom of the table as we look. Played again with a lot of inside English to check that cue ball off the bottom cushion there to straighten it up. So this is the problem here, getting onto this 9. And how's his angle on the 8? Well, he's dead straight, so he can only go forward or back. And that's why he's trying to steal a bit of an angle. And that's why he's missed the 8. He got himself on the 9, but he was trying to make an angle out of something that wasn't there. And he's left a thin cut for Tony, which he gets. And anything on that 8 ball there for Romario, any angle would have been good enough, except dead straight. And that was unlucky, and that's going to hang up. So Romario gets a reprieve. There's the result come in. Bedhead's beaten Geordie Power, who has forfeited his match. So that's one that's got away there for Tony, and Romario will be glad of that. Still trailing by 1. But nothing doing for him in the break off, and the 1 ball's in the open. Again, that would have been a good shot if only he hadn't finished on the rail. So now he's maybe going to have to just leave the cue ball long over here for a cut in this 4 ball. Well, he's trying to get back across, trying to find the gap. I think he's got there. Has he? Oh, I don't think so. It looks touch and go whether he can get the potting angle on that and hit enough of the edge of the 4. Yes, he's managed to do it. Needs to bounce a fair bit though. So now he's got a choice. Try and tuck the 5 ball up by the 6 and 7 or play the bank. Now the safety up behind the 6 and 7 is fairly straightforward, but you know, most of these 9 ball players go all out to win the rack. He's played the bank, got the cue ball to follow, and he's got a nudge in the 6, which is nudged right onto the rail again. And the problem now is he's such a high angle, it's going to be difficult to hold for the 7, so he's going to have to go up and down if he can. No, he's managed to hold it. That's better than I thought. 9 balls in that little awkward place again. But I think he's sitting pretty here in the 8 ball just to drop in behind it. So Tony Sam back into a 2-rack lead, but he's now sitting on the hill, just needing the 1 and breaking off in rack number 11. And I think the 3 ball's gone into the left middle, and he's got a shot in the 1 again. And this could be all over here. A result in there, Cobra's beaten WizKid 7 racks to 1. And I think if you remember looking at the bracket, WizKid was getting 5 and out. Cobra, very strong player. Now if that just keeps running, then that's perfect. I think he's actually perfect in the 6 ball here. Just roll through. And a little slight angle in the 7. Don't know whether he'll maybe need to come off the cushion or whether he can just roll through a tad. Yeah. So here's the crunch ball. It looks easy getting from the 8 to the 9, but it's all about controlling the pace. Just off the right rail, back across. You see he's left it a wee bit short. So this isn't a gimme. Would have liked that cue ball to have run over another 7 or 8 inches. But in it goes, and that's the result there for Tony Sam. And Romario is going to the 1 loss side. Tony Sam wins by 7 racks to 1. So there's a couple of results have come in. Let's see how that affects the bracket. Cobra's sitting there in the 2nd round. Larry's already waiting there, of course. He had a bye. And Mark Shark is now playing Bedhead in round 2. Mark Shark getting 6 and out in that match. So there are still 2 or 3 matches ongoing in the round 1. There's a match that's still going underway, and that's Z Karaoke against Andre Hagus. Andre getting the 6 ball. We'll drop in that one. And it's all square, 2 racks all. Z Karaoke on the 9 ball. And it goes. And for some reason he's infatuated with this breaking the cue ball off the bottom rail into the pack, where you don't get a lot of power into the shot. Well, that's gone outward. He's hooked himself behind the 6, so I don't even think, I think he can get it off the rail there. Just again a hit and hope. You don't know where they're going. Well, he's misjudged that quite badly. That was not a difficult one to hit off the rail, considering the rail was quite near. So, ball in hand to Z Karaoke. This 2 ball's awkward. There's a little gap there between the 4 and the 6, and a little gap is there to get that 2 ball into the middle. In fact, I thought I was on the 1 ball. He's actually on the 2 ball. I'm falling asleep already. I didn't realise that was a 9 ball that's up the table. I was thinking it was a 1. That looks a good pace. He's going to have to play another combo here unless he tries something elaborate and getting over behind the 5 ball. Well, in the end, I don't know what he tried there. Now, Andre, although he's trailing 3-2, he's getting that 6 ball as the extra money ball if he can get there. And he's going to have to dig himself out of trouble here, stuck in behind the 8. And McClarkey has beaten River City 7-4. Of course, with such a short distance to jump, you can't get a lot of power into the shot, so the balls aren't going to travel very far. And Z Karaoke's got a thin cut in the 5. And couldn't avoid the 9. So now he's going to have to, again, create something here. Either play a safe, or play a wild cut down the rail, or a bank into the left middle. That's his choice. He's played the bank, he's got that, and the cue ball's travelling nice onto the 8. So, looks like Z Karaoke is going to open up a gap. He's leading now 4 racks to 2, breaking off in rack number 7. No joy. Of course, it ends up being a soft break. It's like breaking off with a house cue because you don't get the power into the shot coming off that bottom rail. If you were to hit it too hard into that bottom rail, you're going to bounce off the table. Well, Andre will be happy with that one. Played the awkward cut in the 1, but he's hooked. Z Karaoke behind the 5. That's a good kick, but I think that 1-2 is a dead set combo. Look at that. Oh dear, where's the cue ball going? Well, straight into the pocket. Andre needing that little bit of luck, and he's not getting it. And Z Karaoke lining up the 1-9 combo, and in that goes. So it's very quickly gone to a 5-2 lead. And he's dry, and he's left Andre tagged behind the 9, so only the push out here. Well, again, not the best of push outs for the simple reason he's left Z Karaoke on the 1. And once that, well, that effort on the 1 ball has ended up very poorly, stuck against the 2, but He's now got Andre tied up again, but if Z Carioca had a better angle on that 2 ball, he could certainly go on the 3, and he could have probably created an angle to disturb those balls on the right hand side of the table. Well, that's by the by. That's unlucky. Tried the big draw to create an angle to get over for the 3. Managed it, but kicking the 6 has just knocked it safe, blocking the 3 ball. So now it's Andre with ball in hand. Let's see whether he can do anything. And he's got a problem straight away, because that 3 ball where it is, there's not a great path to get onto the 4, and the 4 does go past the 5. That's the problem. The problem is it's in a tight spot here. And he's managed to get himself out, but look what he's done with the 6. And that 6 ball's his extra money ball. So now he's got a problem. Now, ideally, if he could come the top side of that 6, near the top rail, with a bit of left-hand English off this 5 ball, he might be able to play the snooker. I don't know whether he's brave enough to go for it. A lot of inside English would do the trick, but that makes the pot in the 5 more difficult. Well, he's played it. Oh dear, that is unlucky. A little bit softer and he would have been able to play the tight snooker behind the 8 ball. He slows up. I think he's still got one. Let's have a look. Well, I think there might be a little speck of that 6 popping out, but Z Carioca's going to kick at it. Good chance of this 6 ball going in if he gets it flush. Well, I think he might have had a bit of spin on that cue ball there and didn't realise it. So it's an easy one for Andre. He's got a gift. Ball in hand in the 6 ball. And that brings a rack back. Still trailing by 2. Now, I don't know whether that's a result of miss, but McClarkey's beaten River City 7-4. Meanwhile, Andre's broke off. I think he's come up dry again. Now, what's Z Carioca got? Nothing much, but Andre again should be in trouble. Which he is. Well, if he played the kick off the left-hand rail, again, a good chance of knocking the 1 ball in. He's playing a jump. Danger of going off the table. Well, he's misjudged it. So, back to Z Carioca, ball in hand. It's a bit untidy. There's a bit of manoeuvring to be done here if you're actually going to try and run out. What's he doing here? He's going for 3 fouls by the looks of it. Trying to keep it tight behind the 7. And again, that's very close to try and jump that 7 ball. Well, this time he's done it, and he's got it reasonably safe. There's not a great advantage here for Z Carioca cutting the 1 ball in, because he can't go on the 2, I don't think. Well, he got a bit of luck there and he got on the 2. That's a wee bit of touch that you need off a ball to get on that 2, because it was very, very difficult. He missed the 1 though, but still a good effort. And Andre, I think, is getting caught up with this pace that Z Carioca's playing at. He wants to play quick, and Andre's getting caught up in it. And he should. And I've seen Andre when he's playing, he's using up his shot clock, and he hasn't been doing that. He's playing quicker than he normally does. He wants to just keep at his own pace. Could could be a ploy by Andre as well, because he does play fairly slowly, takes his time to line up his shots, and if he feels that's not working for him, maybe he's doing the right thing and trying to speed his game up a bit. You've always got to try something different if you don't feel comfortable. Once again, he's missed that by quite a margin, and I don't know whether Z Karaoke is going to try and bank this past the 4. It looks very tight, so that's why he's played it safe again. Well, Andre getting a little bit of luck, got the kick and got the 3 safe. This time I think he can see it. Let's have a look, can he? I can see enough of it to maybe put Z Karaoke back in trouble. Or is he going for the bank? I don't know whether it can squeeze past the 9. Let's have a look. Yes, in it goes. Played it well. Nice pace. Good position on the 4. Now he can drop behind the 5. He can certainly do that. He can get to here. The angle's there in the 4. He doesn't really need to do a lot. It's just about judging the pace of it. He's under hit it. It needed to run another, roughly another 10 inches there. So now he's in trouble. Immediately out of shape. He's going to have to dig out a good shot, and if he hits the 9, he might be able to hold for the 6 if he gets lucky. You never know, he might billiard the 9 into the middle pocket. Yeah, that was always a tough shot. That 6, pretty certain, goes past the 8. Well, it is very tight. And it goes clean. He's left himself short in the 7 though. And again, straight choice, you bank it or you cut it. But either way, the cue ball's going around the table. It's a good cut. Now, what's it like on the 8? Well, he's got a nice little angle. He can play this into the pocket. Little tad of left-hand English just to try and finish on the rail. And he's done it. So, Z Karaoke breaking off, rack number 10, just needs the 1. Nothing doing, and nothing on for Andre. I think we fancy a change here. There we go. Well, I don't think that's a set combo. I mean, the three's very close to the pocket, obviously, but you've got to get the angle to brush the three with the one ball. Not easy from that distance. He's tucked right under the rail. And all he's done is left it on. It's again messy. It's as if the table had a slope on it, sloping away from us. All the balls are at the top end of the table. Where's the cue ball going? Well, got the bank. Well, here where Andre has a chance, but it's a slim chance because the 5, 6 and 7 are sitting awkward. 5 ball obviously in an open pocket, I think. So he's got the 4 into the middle. He's going to have to do something to either leave the combo in the 6 and 7 or move something. The 6 and 7 combo looks easier. Well, I don't know what he tried there. He's now got a pressure shot right down the rail. And he's played it well, but look where the cue ball's going. And that'll probably be his last shot in this match. Just need a drop in pace in the 8 ball, cue ball back into the middle of the table, and it's all over. So Andre didn't get much use of his extra money ball in that match, and Z Karaoke wins it by 7 racks to 3. Right, so let's see how the bracket's looking now. So we've got Tony Sam, who is now playing McClarkey in round 2, and McClarkey's getting the 6 ball. Tony Sam has got a strong lead. He's leading 5-2. Larry's still sitting there waiting on his opponent in the second round, and the reason he's sitting there waiting is because Popman and Wizard Cheat are still playing. Wizard Cheat getting the 5 ball, and it's 4 racks all. Cobra's now going to be playing Z Karaoke, who's getting a 5 ball, and Mark Shark is getting 6 and out, but he's trailing by 6 racks to 2 against Bedhead. And meanwhile, Andre, who's just lost his match there, he's now playing WizKid, and Romario has beaten River City by forfeit. River City's obviously gone. So what we will do is we will drop in on the Popman match, and I'm going to change the colour of that cloth because it's annoying me already. I'll go for purple, see how it looks. Oh, that's a bit psychedelic. Well, Wizard Cheat's just going to have a slam at this. Well, he didn't slam it as much as I thought he would, but he's got it safe. And Popman needs to be careful here, because if he leaves ball in hand, that 2-9's going to be used as a combo. It's nowhere near set, but I'm pretty certain Wizard Cheat would have a bash at it. And that's the result coming from the Bedhead Mark Shark match. Bedhead wins at 7-2. So here we go. Wizard Cheat has ball in hand. Is he just going to play the 2? Looks like it. No, he's now looking at the combo. Of course, it's nowhere near set. He's had a smack at it. And would you believe it, he's got it. I thought he'd covered it. He has covered the two. Well, Popman got himself out of trouble, and he's left Wizard Cheat in trouble. Good kick, and again he's got it safe right behind the three. Perfect snooker. I don't know whether Popman can squeeze anything between that 7 and 3 to just catch the edge of the one. A little bit of left-hand English. He's bound to hit one of them if he tries that. Well, he's managed to do it. Well done. And once again, it's gone safe. Or has it? I think that 9 ball is a good guide. The 9 and the 8. I think he could actually have potted that too. Cheated the pocket a wee bit, but it might have went. Well, they're kicking and they're going safe. That's the last 3 or 4 shots have all gone pretty much safe. Well, if only, well, 5 balls gone in, and that's his money ball. Oh dear. So Wizard Cheat is now sitting 6-4 in front, just needing the one more. Need to be careful and then off in the middle. In fact, he didn't even play the pot, he just tried to get it safe. That's a good shot. Nice shot in the 1. Finished pretty good in the 2. Now if he just drops that 2 in or just stuns it in, he can leave a shot in the 4 ball into the right middle. And now here's the important one. And remember, he just needs to get to the 5 ball, and he's done that. So just to roll in the 5 and the match is over. So Wizard Cheat beats Popman by 7 racks to 4, and he's going to probably be getting 5 and out against Larry. So Larry's got work to do in his match, and there's a good result there, because Tony Sam, I'm pretty certain, was up 5-2 against McClarkey, and McClarkey's come back and beat him 7-6. That was a good result. So, with all those results coming in, McClarkey's through to round 3. Larry's obviously going to play Wizard Cheat, who is getting 5 and out. And Cobra is now playing Z Karaoke. Now that still hasn't updated yet, so they haven't finished a rack yet according to that. And Mark Shark, well, that was the forfeit bedhead. Oh no, I'm mixing myself up here. Who was it that forfeited? River City was the one that forfeited, that's right. Romario is playing Mark Shark, and Mark Shark's getting a 7 ball. Romario's up 1-0. Remember, that's a race to 4 in this side of the draw. And Geordie Power is now playing Tony Sam. Geordie Power is getting 6 and out. Well, that's a fair handicap as well, especially just in a race to 4. So we've got matches underway. I think we should drop in and see the Cobra match if it's still going. And they're still in the first rack. And Z Karaoke missed a cut in the 8. And no doubt Cobra will line up the bank. In this match, Z Karaoke is getting a 5 ball as his extra money ball. And he's going to have to work to do that because Cobra's a very strong player. He's left himself an awkward 9 though. Again, not an easy shot. And I'm going to change that cloth colour again because that purple's doing my head in already. It's same as that red colour. Yep. Very difficult 9 ball. And a fairly straight 9 ball for Z Karaoke to jump into the lead. Right, where are we? Settings, miscellaneous. And a more traditional blue colour will do. Well, Z Karaoke's broke off. He's potted a 2 ball. The 1 ball's on into the middle. He can get the cue ball up the table and leave a thin cut in the 3. Oh, again, I think he maybe rushed that too much. And you just do not want to be making mistakes against players of Cobra's class, because the table's still awkward here, but he's more than capable of finding a way out here. Although he's got a problem straight away with this 1 ball, it's dead straight. Well, a very thin cut across the table, but he will be on the 4. But I think he's looking at just tucking Z Karaoke behind the 9. Well, that was a risky shot. I mean, he's potting the 3. He's trying to obviously use the path of the cue ball to split open the 5, which he's done, but he's then trusting to luck to get on the 4, and he's not run through, so just the safety. That was a valiant effort in the 4. He's missed it though, and I think that might be Z Karaoke's last miss in this rack, because I can't see Cobra making a mistake. If he gets onto this 5 ball, it should be all over. I don't know whether he can avoid the 8 ball here. He might just use it to hold for the 7, but he's going to leave the 7 long, and he could knock that 8 ball safe. And that's the risk he took there. And now he's going to have to try and line up this 8-9 combo. It looks pretty good though. It looks pretty set. He just needs to try and get this cue ball as straight as he can behind the 8. He's left it a wee bit short, but it's still good odds on him potting this. So in it goes, and we're back all square, 1-all. Well, if we remember, Z Karaoke's getting that 5 ball as his extra money ball. He's got a thin cut in the 1. I don't know what he tried there. But assuming that Cobra pots this 1 and gets on the 2, his problem's going to be with the 3 and the 9, which, if he looks closely at it, he can certainly make the combo. They're close enough where you can actually send that 3 ball offline to make the edge on the 9. Well, he's gone a bit too far in the 2. He could actually, if he drags the cue ball up the table, a little bit of draw, he could spin into that 3 and 9, but I don't really think he wants to. I think he would much rather leave it where it is and try and get that cue ball into the middle of the table. That's why he's played it slow. So now I'll have a good look at the angle to hit the 3 and looking at how it's going to cut onto the 9. That's why he's turning round. And again, played it well. So very quickly, Cobra's gone into the lead. And this time, he's broke off. I think a couple have gone down, the 2 and the 8. And he has a shot in the 1. Well, that was a bad one. So the mistake's been made. And Andre Hagus, it's not his week. WizKid has beaten him 4-3 in the 1 loss side. And meanwhile, Z Karaoke has been given a gilt-edged chance here to stay with Cobra. But he's only going to be able to do that if he gets this 4 ball and gets on to the 5. And he doesn't want to hit the 9. He wants to come out beyond the 9. And he's managed that, so we should be all square again. And that's the sort of thing that Z Karaoke must do, that if there is a mistake, he has to try and take that chance. Now he's broke off, he's potted the 9 ball. We're playing spot money, so the money ball gets respotted. And he's finished on the 2. But again, a lot of work to get done here to get on the 3. And he's on it. He'll take that any day. And he played that with top to actually run through and punch into the 4 and bring it into play. Again, you're just chancing your luck that you're going to leave yourself on the 4. But he's not so lucky with the 5. He's knocked it safe, but he's going to play the bank, no doubt. And in it goes. So very quickly again, from trailing 2-1, Z Karaoke's jumped into the lead. And that's just going to put a little bit more pressure on Cobra. Made the one mistake in that last rack and paid the price, and then in the next rack, Z Karaoke managed to finish awkward in the 5, but got the bank, and that was all he needed. Well, the mistake again there by Cobra, but it's gone safe this time. And Romario, on the one loss side, has beaten Mark Sharp by 4 racks to 2. Not a good one there from Z Karaoke. Sent the cue ball right up the rail. So here we go. Cobra ball in hand. He's looking at the 1. 2 balls over on the top rail on the right hand side. And I think he was checking to see if he could squeeze the 3 past the 9, and I don't think there's much chance of that. Let's have a look. Well, the more you look at it, the more it's likely he can certainly cheat the pocket. But you have to get yourself right behind the 3 to be able to do that. Oh, that's gone funny. So let's see what he tries here. He's either looking at cheating the pocket, in which case he's going to send the cue ball to about here and it'll just come off the jaw and go in, or he's going to play the combo. Yeah, he's just tried to cheat it in and he got it too thick, but he's now blocked the bank. That 4 ball's blocking the long bank onto the 3, so Z Karaoke can't get to it from that side either. The 8's blocking it, and he's now tried a little jump, but unfortunately at that short a distance you can't take that pace off the cue ball, and it just, the momentum took it into the pocket. So this time you'd have to say that provided Cobra can get from the 5 up onto the 6, it should be in the bag this rack. Now if he just stops the cue ball where that 6 is right now, he's got the perfect angle to just come back down for the 8 ball off this 7. And that's exactly what he's done. Because it's all about angles. And it gets so much easier when you get the right angle in the shot. And now he's got a choice. This is what players do. You can come back and out, or you can go round and out that way and finish on a 9. He's gone behind it. It's whatever you're comfortable with. It's always good to have choices. So Cobra's tied it up again. 3 racks all, and he's to break in rack number 7. Well, this would be a good one for Z Karaoke to steal. He's got an open table. He's got a difficult one to start him off, but he should be on the 2. And he sent it to the jaw. And that is the one shot that Z Karaoke might get in this rack, and that's how tough it is when you're playing players of this calibre, because once again with an open table, I honestly can't see Cobra making any mistake here unless he scratches or does something daft. It's very unlikely that Z Karaoke is going to get another shot. Now, having said that, well, he's okay. I thought he'd blocked himself off there. Now he's under hit that, and again it's a nasty cut in the 4, but once again the cue ball's travelling in the right direction. Now the only way this could end up going wrong is coming off there, and going down here and scratching. He's hit it a lot softer to leave a high cut in the 5, and that's how he's ended up missing the 4. So a chance, and he's got it, because remember, Z Karaoke just needs the 5, so he just needs to take his time. And so back into the lead. That's always going to end up a soft break doing that. Well, I thought that Cobra wouldn't give Z Karaoke another chance, but he got out of shape on the 7 ball. I think it was a 7 ball. It might have been the 6, but left himself a really awkward cut. Cobra's missed the 1. Again, it's still a chance for Z Karaoke. Now, is he going back too far? He might have. I don't know whether he can get to that potting angle. It looks very iffy that he can do it. He's trying to spin around the 6 to make the angle, and it was never on. But there's the luck that you need. Get yourself tucked in behind the 6, and all Cobra can do is kick and hope. And he's made a complete mess of that. Missed it totally, hit the 6. But there's the problem. Problem's over there with the 3 and the 7 being tied up together. It's the 7 ball blocking the 3, so Z Karaoke plays the combo in the 6. Now can he get a bit of action in the cue ball and try and move something? Well, he's only moved the 5 ball, but again he's got a good chance here to tuck Cobra up behind that 7. He's focusing on this combo. He's played it, but he's going to have to play another good one in the 3. In goes the 3. Has he got a shot in the 4? Well, he has. He can cut it past the 5 if he wants, or he can play it long. And that's awkward because he's impeded by the 9 ball. Looks as if he's playing the cut. No, he's playing it long again. And that's a good shot. Sitting nicely on the 5. And he's going to be leading 5-3. So now Cobra's under a lot of pressure now. And let's see whether he can dig himself out this hole. Z Karaoke's broke off. The 4 ball's gone. And he's got a shot in the 1. He's going to leave himself a 2-6 combo. No, he hasn't got a shot in the 1. Again, I'm blind. I'm thinking the 1 ball's near the cue ball. It's actually the 9. The old brain is on shutdown mode again, folks. Well, there's a good shot. Jump over the 9. Kick in behind the 1. And push it into the middle pocket. And leave yourself a 2-6 combo. Well, he's got a cut again on this too. He's going to have to pull out a few good shots here to keep this going. I think he's got away with it. He certainly has. What's he got? All he can see is the edge of the two. Now, to play the bank from that angle, I think you've got to play that with right-hand English to square the cue ball up. He's played it well. And nothing easy here for Cobra. And this, at this point, he's now got a dilemma. Does he go for a difficult 2 with a lot of work to do to get on the 3, or does he try and just play a safety? Now, knowing these players, they generally go all out to try and pot them. He played the bank. It hasn't worked out, and he's left. See Karaoke snooker behind the 9 ball, but no doubt he'll jump that. Now let's see what Cobra's got this time. Well, this time he'll be able to pot the 2 and hold for the 3. How does that 7 ball look? Well, it goes no problem. I thought that was tighter than it looked. So Cobra trailing 5-3. Should be out this rack. And he'll be looking for a ball in the break in this next rack to keep the momentum going. So Z Karaoke still up by 5-4. Cobra breaking off rack number 10. Now, 3 balls definitely going into the top right. I think the 1 ball went into the left middle. 2 balls followed it. And he's got a very tough shot in the 4. So once again he has that dilemma. There's an opportunity to play a safety. The idea of potting a 4 and playing a shot to go on this 5 is really asking a lot. Again, he's went for this bank. He's missed it. And to do that and realise that your opponent only needs the 4 and the 5 ball to win the rack, that is really putting yourself under the cosh. Now the question is, can Z Karaoke do anything to go on the 5? Played that with a lot of spin, and wouldn't you know it, he's left Cobra hooked in the 4. And I don't think there'll be any problem jumping this and potting the 4, but he's going to be so far away from the 5 ball. Well, he's got the cue ball travelling. And that's finished an awful lot better than I thought he'd be able to do. Now, what does he do? Does he play the snooker, or does he play the combo? Because his mindset might change an awful lot here, and that's exactly what it is. He didn't want to take that risk, and that's maybe the best idea there. You see, Karaoke can kick this easy enough. How lucky is he going to get? Extremely lucky. In goes the 6 ball, and he's sitting pretty on the 5, and he's now on the hill. That's exactly what happens in 9 ball. So now there is no return here for Cobra. He just simply cannot make a mistake. See, Karaoke's broke off in rack number 11. He's came up dry. And the pressure is now right on Cobra's shoulders. He's got no shot in the 1. The 1 doesn't pass the 3. At least it didn't in my screen, but my God, that was a narrow gap to get that 1 ball through. I really need to zoom a bit closer, I'll tell you. But he's not gained anything from it though. He's potted it and he's left himself hooked in the 2. And he's missed the 2. And dare I say it, he's left a long 2-ball 5 combo here. Well, see, Karaoke's not even so much as looked at it. He's deciding he's going to try and get the run out. Big stun on it. Sitting with a pretty good chance in the 5 for the match. And in it goes. So, a strong favourite for that match. Cobra has gone down by 7 racks to 4. And that's now Cobra into the 1 loss side. So let's see how the bracket looks. Well, the bracket's still to update, but we can see that Tony Sam has gone through by forfeit against Geordie Power. McClarkey, remember, I'm pretty certain McClarkey was 5-2 down against Tony Sam, and he's come back and beat him 7-6 to send him to the 1 loss side. Now meanwhile, Larry is in deep trouble in his match, giving 5 and out to Wizard Cheat, and Wizard Cheat is 6-1 up, and it looks like well, unless I'm out of sync here, Wizard Cheat's got the 7 ball hanging over the pocket for the match. And Larry, well, he must have made a few mistakes to end up losing 7-1. So Larry is now through on the 1 loss side as well. So 3 of the strongest players in the tournament, that would be Tony Sam, Larry and Cobra have all gone to the 1 loss side. So there's a lot of work to be done for those guys. And McClarkey's going to maybe have the same problem against Wizard Cheat, because he's playing him next. So let's have a look. And Wizard Cheat is just getting the 5 ball against McClarkey. And see, Karaoke is about to play Bedhead. Now Larry is going to be up against it again, as I said, because he's now playing WizKid in the 1 loss side, and WizKid is getting 5 and out. So that match, I think we'll nip in and see if Larry can recover. They should be probably just lagging off right now. No, rack's underway. Now this is the situation where players of the calibre of Larry are really up against it when they're given 5 and out in such a short race to 4, because Larry obviously wants to run the balls, but as soon as he makes that 1 mistake, if it's at the critical end of the rack, he's generally going to pay by losing the rack, because the opponent only has to pot the 1 ball half the time. lot of draw and a lot of left-hand English to punch that cue ball off the rail but back to the left as we look to give himself a shot in the 2, and he played it well. Now here's the scenario I'm talking about. Larry's got the 3, he's got the 4, 5, 6. All the balls are there, and it's just going to take one mistake to put him in trouble. So this is where these players do feel the pressure. They know what's expected of them, but they're also realising the consequences of making a mistake right now. And now he's gone a bit too far in that because he's now close to the rail, meaning he's having to jack the cue up, and that's never a good thing. And he's travelled far enough. He's just left himself short again now. This is where things are going out of shape slightly. It's not a difficult 6 ball, but you've got to control the pace coming back across the table for the 7, and that's why he's hit it, so he's going to come off the rail. Did the right thing there. If you want to get a bit twitchy, he could have easily hooked himself behind the 9. Should be home and dry in the rack. He's up by 1-0. So Larry's came up dry. He's going to hook himself, I think. Oh, he just managed to squeeze past the 7. That's the sort of thing that when you're getting 5 and out, you don't want to be doing. You don't want to be scratching and giving the strong player the ball in hand. Now that almost went wrong there. Managed to nudge the 9 far enough away, open up the 4. Now, how's the angle on that? 6. A little bit awkward over the 7 ball. He's got to tuck this along the rail. So, whatever happened to Larry in that first match against Wizard Cheat, I don't know, but I'm assuming he made a few mistakes to have lost the match 7-1, but he's certainly not looking like making any mistakes in this match so far, and he knows he can't. But he's come up dry. This kid's got a shot in the 1. And if he doesn't draw too far, he's got a 2-3 combo along the rail. cue ball needs to run out. Now, can he drop the 2 in and still hold for the 4? No, he can't. Too much of an angle. Now he's got a choice. He can play the bank, and in it goes. And how's his luck in the 5? Well, he's given himself a shot. Needs to take his time, and he didn't. Rushed at it, and he's got no luck. He's left the 5 on. The 6 is open, and that's his chance gone. Shots like that 5 ball there, you really need to just slow up, have a good look at the angle, get the image in your mind about where you're going to hit that 5 ball, and then go for it rather than rushing into it. Well, Larry's left himself straight in the 8 here, so he's going to have to leave a long 9 or draw. Well, he could either have drawn back or gone forward, so he's chosen to draw back. Again, he's finishing the rail. He's doing his best to make it awkward for himself, but Larry now is looking a strong favourite. 3-0 up. Just a short race to 4. 5 ball drops in the top right. Now, has he got a shot in this one? Well, he has. He can cut it up past the 8 ball into that top right hand corner pocket. It's a big ask, but he should be on the 2. And he sent it to the jaw. And what makes it more difficult for WizKid is that one of his money balls is already gone. The 5 ball has gone. He's got away with that though. He might be in trouble in a second or two though. And Larry's played it well. WizKid can't get to the 2. And it's even difficult to kick at it because that 4 ball's in the line to actually get to the 2. So that's a good safety by Larry, and it's ball in hand. Looks like a little roll through for the 3 into the right middle. No. Well, that was not very well played, Larry. Let's have a look. And he's left himself really, really awkward in the 3. But in it goes. And he's tried to take as much pace off that cue ball to leave himself a shot in the 4. Again, he's got a shot, but it's not the type of shot you want to be playing. Into a blind pocket, cutting it back. Can he run into the 6? And he's missed the 4. Now, has he got away with it again? WizKid could play the reverse bank back into the pocket that he's aiming from. Well, he's played it the other way, and in it goes. Now, he had a good opportunity in the last rack. He's got a chance here, not an easy one admittedly, but the 6 goes past the 9. But this time he's taking his chance, so he's off the mark. No joy for WizKid in the break. Larry's got a shot in the 1, a possible 1-6 combo. Looking at it, I don't know whether he can actually. Can he see enough of that? Let's have a look. I think he can. Doesn't look as if he's lining it up though, does it? He's just looking to play safe. The double kiss has done him there. That was the only thing he didn't want. But even so, WizKid's coming to the table. He's got a simple 1, which he's actually contrived to be able to miss. He's left Larry the problem, getting from that 1 ball up to the 2. 2 only goes into the 1 pocket here on the right hand side. Needs to miss that 4. Well, that little nudge will help him. I'll be happy with that. I couldn't get any more perfect than that. Now needs a good angle on the 6 to drop in behind the 7. And you see he's again gone a bit too far. So I don't know whether he can just roll through and hold for the 7 into the opposite corner, or whether he can actually come back across with the cue ball. He's managed to hold it. Good bit of left-hand English there. Oh, again, he's finished dead straight in the 8, so he's going to have to draw back with bottom and left English. And he didn't put anything on it. And that's left himself a long distance thin cut or a bank on the 9 for the match. He's overcut it, but that was always going to be the problem. I don't know why Larry didn't play that draw shot with bottom and left, because that would have punched the cue ball up the table. So all he's done is given WizKid an easy 9. And this match should have been over. WizKid's came up dry. We've got a right clutter down here at the bottom left. And WizKid will be in trouble in a second. And now he's in a lot of trouble. Well, Larry will have a straight choice. He's got ball in hand, but he's probably got not much choice other than to just hook WizKid again behind the 4 and go for the 3 fouls. So the 3 fouls is gone. WizKid gets the hit in the 1 and gets it safe. But once again, well, that's a bonus there for Larry. He's managed to knock the 1 in and left himself on the 2. But he's now got no shot in the 3, and this is now dangerous. He's now just relying on luck here to leave it safe, and he hasn't, because WizKid just needs to pot the 3, drop onto the 4, and leave himself on the 5 to tie this match up. And he's nudged into the 4, he didn't want that. He's got a 4-5, and in it goes. Where's the cue ball going? He's okay, and we're all square. Final rack decider. And Larry now is really up against it. WizKid gets a ball in the break. I don't know what went in. The 2 ball. And he's got a 1-7 combo. Well, he's going to scratch. And the 7 went in. Oh, Jesus. Oh, dear. Well, if he hadn't scratched, the match was over. And Larry now is right on the cusp of going out here. He's got ball in hand. He's looking at the lay of the table. He's looking for problems that aren't there. He just needs to get from the 1 to the 3. And the important shot is from the 4 to the 5. Because that 6 ball could still play a part in this. And Larry's got a slight angle in the 3. And he's now gone back, left himself high in the 4. And this is not an easy shot. And this could go wrong. He could miss the cut and he could actually hook himself behind the 6. He's got to get this right. He's got the pot and he's got the pace right by the looks of it. And that is perfect. Drop the 5 in. Finish on the 6 into the opposite corner. He's now going to be queuing over the 9 ball. He should be okay though. Dead straight 8 ball. Well, Larry was chewing down in his fingernails there, but he's looking as if he's gone through it by 4 racks to 3. So that match took a turn backward and forward. So WizKid ends his participation in this week's tournament. So now we'll have an update on the bracket, and well, that match from Larry's just updated. So now we've got another good match coming up on the 1-loss side. Meanwhile, McClarky's up 4-2 against Wizard Cheat, and Z Karaoke is 2-all with Bedhead. But we've got a good match on this 1-loss side between Larry and Tony Sam, 2 of the strong players in the tournament. Tony Sam sitting there in the lobby. Larry's in, raring to go. And Tony Sam's still to join the room. And Tony Sam is going to be getting probably maybe the 8 ball as a money ball, if I remember looking at his ranking. He's probably certainly going to get 1 extra money ball, no doubt about that. And just a reminder as well, in between the matches, once the room is up, if a player hasn't entered the room within 5 minutes, then he will forfeit that match. And there's a result coming from the 1-loss side. Cobra has beaten Potman by 4 racks to 1. Tony Sam will get an audible alert to let him know that if he's sitting in front of the PC, it will let him know that his room is up. The question is whether he's there or not. And he's keeping Larry waiting. Could be a tactical thing. Let's have a quick look at the bracket again to see how that Cobra result shapes up. Well, there's another good match. Again, you've got Romario against Cobra, race to 4, about to start. And of course it might turn out, well, Tony's gone into the room now, so we'll join the room. And they'll be up and running in the first rack. So Larry's won the lag, and Tony is getting a 6 ball as his extra money ball, and that is a fair handicap because Tony's more than good enough to make use of that 6 ball. And that's a bit too heavy. Okay, Larry's got the 1 ball, but he's not going to have much of a shot in the 2 unless he can find a gap to get the cue ball back up to this end of the table where we're looking. Well, he's managed to draw into the middle of the table. He's going to leave the awkward cut. Again, this is all out of shape because you've still got to get that cue ball across for the 3, and it's all hard work. And this time, he's got the choice: play the safety or play the bank. Gets the bank clean. A long shot in the 4, but no problem getting on the 5. Now this is not easy because it's all about controlling that draw. He's drawn off the 5. He needs a little draw, not a heavy draw. And I think he's got slightly the wrong angle in the 6, but he can easily hold it for the 7. Bit of right hand English. Check it off that side rail and push it back towards the 7. And he's done that perfect. And he's still got his work cut out because I think he's ended up, well, he's got a slight angle, but he's got to get from that 8 back to the 9. And he'll be able to do that. He's got a perfect angle in the 8 ball. Perfect angles give you the perfect position in the next ball. So Larry has done what is required of him. Get a chance and run the table. Because if he'd made any mistake there, Tony would have won the rack. No doubt about that. Because Tony can certainly run racks. Dry break for Larry. And now a chance to see whether Tony Sam can prove his worth here. So the 3 ball, the 4, the 5, and then the 6 to win the rack. Well, he's run through there, so he's left himself the wrong side of the 4. And this is going to be the crucial shot. Getting onto the 5 ball. And that's all gone wrong. And that was a very bad mistake there by Tony. Didn't even get the 4 ball to the pocket, let alone scratch the cue ball. And that's a gift for Larry. And if Tony makes those kind of mistakes, he's not going to get a look at this. And the only thing is, in such a short race to 4, Tony doesn't have time to hang about. He has to get himself into gear if he's going to make any kind of match out of this. Now that shot there played with left hand English so that when the cue ball hit that end rail, it pushed it to the right. So Larry takes his opportunity, as you'd expect a 2,400 rated player would do, and run the rest of the balls. to lead 2-0. And he's also got a couple of balls in the break. The 4 ball and the 7 ball have gone, and he's got a shot in the 1. And the only problem he's going to have to deal with is those 2 there. Because the 3 I don't think passes the 6. And he's nudged the 3, took the risk, and he's still got a shot in the 2. And the 3 definitely goes past the 6 now, so this you'd think is a crucial shot. And that's not finished perfect. Much more of a cut in the 5 than he would like here. Now the question is whether he can actually pot that plain ball. It doesn't look like it. He's playing it with a little bit of bottom and left. And that's actually to check and push it left. So he's now left himself the long 6. But now if he just drops this in dead weight, he's going to have the 8 ball into the right hand middle. He doesn't really need to do a draw shot here, he can just kill it. Just a little run through it, and that's perfect. A simple roll in the 8, and likewise with the 9, and Larry's going to be 1 away. Well, if Tony's going to win this now, he's going to have to do it the hardest way of all. Win the next 4 racks. And he's got a chance. Dry break for Larry. He's got a sight in the 1 ball. But once again, that 2 ball is the opposite end of the table. And he's played a great shot, provided he hasn't hooked himself behind the 5. No, that's good, but he's dead straight. Managed to squeeze an angle. Now, if he just drops the 3 in, a roll down the rail, get the cue ball as far as he can, past that bunch of balls, and he's on the 5. But he needs to leave that angle in the 5. He has to have the angle because it's the only way he'll get up for the 6. And that looks maybe a bit straight. Let's have a look. And that's why he's missed the 5, because he's finished too straight on it and had to try and force an angle. Hit it far too hard, because look where the cue ball's finished up. So Tony had a chance there, and he's going to find himself in trouble any second here if Larry can thin this 5 along the rail and stick it in behind the 9 and the 7. And I think he's played it pretty well. So now Tony has got his back right against the wall. And this is the old hit and hope shot, and he's missed it. And that's his last shot in this match, I would say. And Larry, ball in hand, just looking at his shot in the 6. Just a roll through in the 5. Take the 6 into the corner that he's cueing from at the moment. Now that, again, just not gone far enough through. Now there's the result came through. Wizard Cheat has used his handicap again, and he's beaten McClarkey by 7 racks to 5. So McClarkey moves over to the 1 loss side. So we've got a lot of strong players through in the one-loss side, and that just shows you that the handicap's working against him. So Larry wins the match by 4 racks to 0. Tony's going to have to try again next week. And Larry marches on. Now, the bracket is taking shape now. McClarkey's over in the one-loss side. Cobra and Romario are still playing. And Wizard Cheat is moving through to round 4. Z Karaoke is trailing by 5 racks to 4 against Bedhead. And Z Karaoke getting a 7 and 8 ball. And I think what we'll do is we'll drop in and see this Romario Cobra match in the one-loss side. Romario, player 1, getting the 5 ball. And Romario at the table, and he's dropped behind the 5. And he's going to go on to the hill. And the 5 ball has gone into the right middle, but that's going to get respotted. But Romario's still at the table. He's got a 1-2 combo. And he's... Well, how's he sitting in the 1? Well, he's got a very thin cut in the 1. And a 1-6 combo. Well, he's just managed to get it. Of course, his money ball is the 5 ball, and it's sitting awkward right next to the 8, and he's now just made a hash of the 3 ball. But that 5 ball does not go past the 8. So Cobra is going to have to do something about this 5 ball. Now he's got an angle in the 4, and he could possibly nudge into those 2. He's tried it. He's tried it. Now, how does it look from this end? Well, that's a great shot, because it goes past the 8 into the top corner. Oh dear, what's Cobra done here? He's left himself again another one of these troublesome cutbacks. He's got to watch where the cue ball's running as well, and he's okay. So Cobra's still in it. He's going to be trailing by just a 1. Where's that 9 ball going? Well, the 9 ball gets respotted. The Cobra's got no shot in the 1. We're going to try and just top Romario up here. Yeah, well, let's have a closer look at this. And that's not a bad shot. Now, I would suggest that Cobra needs to be careful here. He doesn't want to leave any sort of possible combination on that 5 with this safety in the 1 ball here. Because Romario's extra money ball is the 5 ball. Well, that's opened the 5 out now. And that's ended that little safety battle. Now, there's nothing really doing there for Cobra. I mean, he could try and play a combo, but there's not an awful lot of advantage in it. It's too risky. And the double kiss has undone him. 1 ball going over the top corner pocket as we look. It's a thin edge, but Romario can certainly pot it, and if he gets the pace right, he can drop down on the 2. Well, again, did he go up and have a look at the potting angle on that one? I don't know whether he did. And he never even got to the 2. Where's the cue ball going? Well, that could be a bad mistake. Romario sitting on the hill. Ball in hand on the 2. Now the 3 ball doesn't go, so he's going to have to do something here again. And he's tried to play the 2 off the 8, and all he's done is missed that and left the 2 on. So this is an opportunity for Cobra to again live up to his rating. Well, this is now not easy. Needs to get a good kiss off this 7 ball. I don't think the angle's there. I think he can go right through. Yeah, he can. Well, he's still got his work to do. Going to get from that 5 up to the 6. Cue ball's got to do a lot of travelling. And a well controlled shot. Got himself off the rail, and he's got some sort of an angle on the 6, has he? It's a wee bit straighter than he would like. And now he's out of shape, and that's all to do with the angle. If the right angle was there, he could have dropped onto that 7 ball no problem. And when you don't have the right angle, you're starting having to do things with the cue ball, and it's difficult to judge. So now he's in the middle of no man's land, having to pull out a good pot in this 7. Oh, that was a good effort, but it's Romario's chance to clinch the match. He needs the 7, the 8 and the 9. What's he done here? Well, that's the only thing he could do to make it impossible to win this rack, and that's finish exactly where he's put the cue ball. Well, Cobra's got a thin cut in the 8, but it should go in. It's all about how the cue ball's travelling, and that looks pretty good. So we're going to a final rack decider on this one as well. Romario had a glaring chance there to win the match. And it's Cobra to break in rack number 7. The 2 balls going into the bottom left. He's got no shot in the 1. Or has he? Let's have a look. No, he's hooked behind the 4. Just a push out. But once again, the way these balls are lying, Romario's got a good chance to get distance here between the cue ball and the 1. And if that cue ball slows up, well, that's not bad. Cobra can certainly kick the 1 ball no problem, but that 5 ball's going to stop the 1 in its tracks. Well, that was a great shot. Caught the edge of the 1. But can Romario cut the 1? He certainly can. More to the point though, can he get on the 3? He's going to have to come off that left rail over to the right rail and back across, I think. And he's overcut the 1. Got on the 3. Now, is that Romario's last shot in the match? And Bedhead has beaten Z Karaoke in a final rack decider and wins by 7 racks to 6. And meanwhile, Cobra is finding himself the awkward spots. Gonna have to jump his way out of this one. Well, for anybody that happens to still be watching this, just a reminder, folks. My cut-off point is 1/2 the hour. We are at 5 past the hour, so we've got about another 25 minutes to go. We might fit another match in, and then we'll have to pull the plug. Well, the good news is that next Friday, or all next week, I have a week off work. So I can guarantee you that provided next Friday's Friday night 9 ball goes ahead, we'll get a full tournament in. Oh, that's a bit of luck. 3 balls kicked into the right middle. Now he's probably going to roll right up behind the 7 here and tie Romario up. Perfect opportunity to do that. He's left it a bit short. Now Romario, I don't think has a jump cue. He never jumps anyway. He usually just kicks. And he's missed the kick. And that 6 ball isn't even going to come to Romario's rescue, because if Cobra can drop behind it, it's going into the middle pocket. And he's managed to do that, sitting pretty on the 6 ball. Couldn't be any more perfect. And a simple 7 ball. Drop the 8 ball in and leave the 9 long into the top left hand corner, and this match is over. So Cobra, who was sent to the 1 loss side early on, like Larry, is still hanging in there. So he beats Romario by 4 racks to 3. So the tournament is now well on, and that bracket has still to update, and we've got McClarkey, who is getting a 7 and out, is going to be Cobra's next opponent. Now, once again, that is a tough ask for Cobra against McClarkey. And Larry is now playing Z Karaoke in the one-loss side, so there's some good matches going on. And Bedhead is now going to be playing Wizard Cheat in the match for the hot seat in tonight's final, and Wizard Cheat once again is getting 5 and out. But what we're going to do is we are going to, now I'm betwixt and between here. I think we'll go in and watch the Cobra McClarkey match, because I haven't seen McClarkey play 9-ball for goodness knows how many years. He's finished dead straight in the 3, so just a drop through. But this time he's got a nice little angle in the 4. I think he can avoid the 9. And I'm going to have to open my new bottle of water here. We're running low on liquids. Now that's gone outward. Very thin cut along the rail. And he's going to scratch. And Cobra won't need any more invitation than that. That goes down as a mistake by McClarkey. And there's not a lot of things you can do there with such a thin cut along the rail. You just have to make the cutting angle and let the cue ball run. And very often the angle that you're cutting it at, the cue ball only heads in one direction, straight down to the opposite pocket. So this time Cobra's off and running with a little gift. But don't forget that McClarkey's player 2 is getting a 7 and out if he gets a chance. And that was his first chance he had, and it's gone. And Cobra's broke off. And the 4-ball's gone. And look at the table. The table's perfect. If he can get on this 2-ball, this rack's over. Big draw and sitting nice on the 2. Now that wasn't the best of shots you're going to see. Way short in the 3. Going to have to play the bank. Could be a single bank or a double, but either way he's going to have to go for it. Well, he's decided no. He's gone for the safety. Now, let's have a look. Well, is it worth having a go at this bank on the 3? Because that bank could end up in a combo in a 7. And McClarkey's decided against that as well. And now we're in dangerous territory, because that's a good one from Cobra. And now it's awkward. Well, Cobra's looking to see if we can hit this 3 thin enough and get the cue ball over by the 9. Well, he's fell short, but he's hooked him behind the 6, so I think McClarkey can see enough of that 3 to cut it. And in it goes. He's going to have to do the same again with the 5. And he's going to have to do the same again with the 6. He's just finishing the wrong angle. And in it goes. And he's now on the 7. So he's off and running. And that'll be a relief. But that lets Cobra know that that he's a capable player. If he gets a decent chance and the balls are there, he's certainly got no problem sticking them away. And he's got the 2 ball and the 6 ball in the break. Just playing the little safety. And I think Cobra will just try and tuck up behind the 8. Oh, the double kiss there. Well, it's actually done him a favour. Now, I don't know whether McClarkey has a jump cue, and I don't know how good he jumps, but if he does, he's going to be having a go here. Well, he can certainly jump. Slams a 1 ball into the right middle. Got a shot in the 3. 4 balls out in the open, and this is a good chance, but the problem is up the top end there. He's going to have to try and finish this side of the 7, and that's not done himself a favour, or has it? He's left himself a 7-9 combo, and it's perfect. But can he get on it? He certainly can. He's got a good chance. And that was well done. Where's the cue ball going? It's okay. So McClarkey is into the lead. Just a reminder, we're on the 1 loss side, so it's only a race to 4. And player 2, McClarkey, is getting 7 and out. He's broke off dry. He's got it safe though. But look at the table again. The balls are all there. Everything is available to a pocket. And that safety shot by Cobra is well shot. Wanted a cue ball between the 6 and the 2. And he's left that a 1.5 foot short, and the 1 ball's wide open. Oh dear, what's happened here? Well, that point of the pocket there has done McClarkey out of a run out. And now we're going to have a little safety tussle again. Well, this time McClarkey's made the mistake, and living up to his name, Cobra is about to strike. Now, can he get onto that 4 ball? Again, a lot of distance to travel. Well, he's decided he's not going to do that. He's going to leave it long. And he just needs to come off the bottom rail and up into the middle of the table far enough to leave the cut in the 5, unless he wants to leave it long as well. Well, it's all gone wrong. Misses a 4, and McClarkey comes to the table. Well, a simple enough 4. Well, that's again gone upward as well because he's the wrong side. He's actually pretty straight, so he can only go forward or back. How's the pace? Pretty good. So this 6 ball takes him onto the hill. Or at least it will in a sec when he pots the 7. Always try to cheat the pocket there. It's gone in though. So Cobra now has to prove that handicap. A couple of balls have gone in, and one of them was McClarkey's money ball, the 7 ball. It's respotted. He's got an extremely thin cut in the 1 if he's going to keep this run going. Of course, no chance of getting on the 2, so that's why he just played the safety. Now, is that 2-9 a combo? Not really. That's a great shot by Cobra. Now he's down behind the 2. It is not a good combination shot on the 9. Now, is he going to go for it? No, that's a wise move. Now, how wise is it though? Because he split the 5 and 9 and he's left McClarkey. Well, that is not a good safety. That is at least 3 or 4 inches short of where he needed that cue ball. It needed to be nailed onto the 7 because Cobra's going to be able to jump this no problem. Well, that's a 2 ball away, and it's all or nothing now. When you're sitting 3-1 down in a race to 4, you just can't make a mistake. So here's the important one. An awkward shot in the 6 and got to get that cue ball back up for the 7. And this is the one that can go wrong. Very easy to rattle this 6 in the jaws and just leave it hanging. Well, in it goes, but once again, he didn't get into it enough. He's in no man's land and a straight choice. If he goes for a cut in either pocket, the scratch is in very, very dangerous territory here playing that shot. He's went for the cut, he's got it. Where's the cue ball? Well, it's just sneaked past the 9. So Cobra is still in it, breaking open rack number 6. One of the 6 balls going into the left middle, but look at the 9. 9 ball from whatever angle you want, but it's sitting there waiting to be knocked into the pocket. And if Cobra's going to get that far, he's going to have to get on this too. And he's giving himself a chance. Well, it's straight run out now. Get on this 5. The only way this will go wrong is if he travels up the table too far, so he's leaving it short. Good angle though, off there and over here for the 7. It looks as if he's drawing off it though, and yeah, a lot of bottom on it to draw it away from the corners there. I think he was concerned about scratching. Again, he's going to have a cut back, and the 8 ball. Let's have a look at that. A nasty little angle. Easy to send it onto that near jaw. And it goes in clean, so we're going for another final rack decider here, the one lost side. I think we've seen about 2 or 3. More importantly though, Cobra's got the break. And this is going to be the last match, folks. We'll see this rack. And then I'm off to beddy buys up at 4 AM as usual on a Saturday morning. Free ball just drops in at the last second into the middle pocket. But Cobra's stuck behind the 5 and the 6. And he plays the push out. Well, this 1 ball cuts. Again, not the best of push outs. McClarkey's decided against it, looking to try and tuck Cobra up behind the 2. And he's almost managed it. I think there's enough of the 1 ball shown there. You can just feather the edge of the 1. And this is going to be a kick and hope. Kick the ball, hit the ball, and then just hope it goes safe. And it hasn't. He's left it on. And as we say in this situation, that could be McClarkey's last shot in the match and his last shot in the tournament. Don't forget, Cobra was 3-1 down. And this is where the 2,300 rated players prove their worth. When they're up against it and up against a handicap. And they're at the point of no return where they just simply cannot make one single mistake. Because we're now getting to the business end of the rack, and a mistake here could cost Cobra dearly. So it's still up for grabs. And there's another result come in. Now that's another strong favourite has gone. Larry has lost to Z Carioca by 4 racks to 3. And meanwhile Cobra's on the 6, looking good for the 7. And this match is all over. And this is why, even though you're getting a handicap, when you're up against a top class player and they're not missing, then you're going to really struggle, and any slight chances you get, you have to take them. McClarkey leading 3-1, and he's looking at this 9 ball going in, and Cobra going through to the next round on a 1 loss side. So Cobra wins by 4 racks to 3. Strong play there at the end to win it. And one final look at the bracket before we head out. And we'll see that Cobra is now going to play Z Carioca to get to the 1 loss side final. And meanwhile, Wizard Cheat playing Bedhead, and Wizard Cheat getting 5 and out. They're tied at 3 racks all. So that's it, folks. Thanks to those that are still watching. And I have to pull the plug now and wish you good night. But as I say, next Friday we'll be able to do a full tournament, provided it goes ahead, because I don't need to get up early next Saturday morning. I've got all next week off. So I will bid you a good night, and we'll see you again sometime.